This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer. Sci-fi, horror, and you guessed it, romance. Even my literature teacher was confused. Why romance of all things? Despite being seen as a lesser genre, romance movies are often the most grounded and the least preachy way to explore social topics. Homosexuality, transgender romance, immigration, sickness, class divide, and more. These deep ties to its local society mean rom-coms that breaks through international borders are rare. But that also means the genre is an excellent entry point to experience the lives of everyday people from around the world. Valentine's Day is approaching, so let me introduce you to 3 heartfelt Hong Kong romance movies. 3 films that have mass appeal and made an impact on Hong Kong pop culture. Let them fill your heart with warmth and also opens your eyes to a corner of the world you might not be familiar with. In the name of love, let our journey begin. First, 1996 seminal classic, Comrades, Almost a Love Story. The film tells the unlikely love story between 2 Chinese mainland migrants in 80s British Hong Kong. How loneliness in a big city brings them together. How the hardships they face as migrants drive them apart. The film begins with our protagonist Xiao Jun arriving in Hong Kong. With his narration, we learn about a massive cultural and language barrier he is facing.
只有姑姑，我才明白她在说什么。
你不要叫我姑姑，叫我 Rosie。
The theme of the movie is immediately apparent, as we are shown the horrid environment migrant workers live in. But Xiao Jun doesn't mind. He's not the brightest of the bunch to begin with. He's like Forrest Gump, hardworking, single-minded, and charming in his own way. One day, in a McDonald's, Xiao Jun meets a fellow mainlander, Li Qiao. Xiao Jun has trouble ordering in Cantonese, so Li Qiao rather reluctantly talks to him in fluent Mandarin,
在这里车子拿走。
which understandably makes Xiao Jun very happy. What you may not understand is why Li Qiao is so reluctant at speaking Mandarin.
同志嚟嘅我哋係。
你個頭啊！我哋講廣東話㗎嘛，我哋睇香港錄像飲維他奶，我哋近香港咁多。
You see, I do the same thing too. I always find it uncomfortable to speak Chinese in public. People look at me funny when I do that. Heck, people look at me funny when I speak with a foreign accent. The pressure to fit in is strong. No one wants to get noticed as an outsider.
報紙話香港有1/5嘅人都係大陸人啊，其實通街都係㗎，佢哋唔出聲你唔知啫嘛。
This social pressure brings people together as a community, but also drives them apart. When everyone is trying to fit in, those who don't or have yet to fit in are often despised and shunned. But either our loneliness or charmed by Xiao Jun's naivete, the two end up getting closer and closer. Hong Kong is both too big and too cramped. And so, their love blossoms in the cracks of this concrete jungle, while the harsh environment continually tries to kill it. Living in a materialistic society, Li Qiao just wants to get rich and live a good life. The anxiety is too great.
唔知聽日會發生啲咩事，好驚，好亂，我唔知點啊！
And when the stock market crashes, Li Qiao had no choice but to resort to working as a masseur. While not exactly prostitution, sexual services are more or less implicit. And that's the thing about migrant workers. They migrate because they are promised a better life.
喺香港肯捱肯做乜都得。
I hope that, more often than not, will not come true. And so, reality once again tears them apart. And that's where I will stop explaining the plot. How will it resolved? You have to watch the movie to find out. Almost a Love Story is truly a phenomenal film. It makes me smile, it makes me sad, it makes me feel helpless. It makes me feel all of that at the same time. It's a brilliant look into the life and hardship of the migrant community and an emotional tale of small love in a big city. Not the happiest or the funniest film on the list, but still heartfelt and touching. This one is for all my fellow drifters in life. Before moving on, I'd like to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. Many of you know I'm a working artist outside of YouTube, and some of you want to see my personal works. Thanks to Squarespace, now I have a portfolio website for my photography. In case you don't know, Squarespace is a website development tool that allows you to quickly and easily create your own professional-looking website. Just follow the intuitively designed user interface, and there you go. It's that simple. No coding knowledge required. And if you want to do something fancy but not sure how, Squarespace offers 24/7, 365-day support to help you every step of the way. If you are an emerging artist, trust me, your clients will ask to see your website. So start a free trial today at squarespace.com/accentedcinema, and while you're at it, use the code accentedcinema to get 10% off your first purchase. And hey, when you got your Squarespace site up and running, send it my way. You can leave a message on the contact page on my website. Maybe I'll talk about your site next time. Once again, visit squarespace/accentedcinema to start your free trial and show yourself to the world. Next up, for something a bit more lighthearted, 2010's cult classic, Love in a Puff. In 2007, Hong Kong banned smoking in all indoor areas outside of private residences. To take a smoke break, working class people now have to huddle around a garbage can in back alleys. As a result, these alleys became a social area where people gossip and make friends. It is during these smoke breaks that our protagonists Jimmy and Cherry meet each other. Unlike most rom-coms, this movie has no dramatic journey, no big confession of love, no big historical context, just two people bonding via chit-chat.
你有冇諗過點解香港會咁少見到 UFO 嘅？嗱，外國成日都有嘅。
The natural, almost improv dialogue often wanders into random topics. It's so realistic. The movie feels like a candid look into the lives of actual working class people.
去交台費啊！
去咩口交啊？
For a famously busy city, small encounters like these are precious. They are brief but tangible. Whereas actual social events like karaoke or late-night hot pot have more formality. And as a result, people become less real. They become part of the city and not part of themselves. Take a look at the cinematography. The city of Hong Kong has this verticality to it. It's so narrow and filled with dead ends, walls, and barriers. It really feels like an overgrown concrete jungle. How working class people spend their limited free time in this environment and how they find love efficiently and truthfully become a topic this film explores. In this film, a walk around the street corner at night feels like the most romantic thing ever. Sharing a cigarette fire is like sharing a kiss. And with these mundane but intimate moments, the two grow ever closer to each other. It is so charming to see the relationship develop, partly because of their outstanding performances, but also because I think we can all relate to that feeling of craving a non-digital, in-person relationship. Quirky, slow, and meditative, this charming little indie film gives a ground-level experience of living as a regular person in a metropolis. Because of all the swearing, this movie received a Category 3 rating, causing the film to bomb in the first week of release, but word of mouth spread quickly, and the film rebounded. It is now considered a cult classic, spawning 2 sequels. Truly a film of the common folks. If you want to experience Hong Kong's everyday life, give this a watch. Last but not least, 2003's Turn Left, Turn Right. Oh, I remember when this movie came out. Turn Left, Turn Right is a Hong Kong-Singapore co-production directed by 2 Hong Kong-based directors adapted from a Taiwanese illustrated book, featuring Hong Kong actress Gigi Leung and Taiwanese-Japanese actor Takeshi Kaneshiro. It was filmed in Taipei and the first Chinese-language Asian film to be produced and distributed by Warner Brothers. Despite being filmed in Taiwan, most actors spoke Cantonese while filming.
唔緊要，愛情能醫百病。
but most of its publicity, including featurettes on Japanese DVD, are filmed in Mandarin.
我是蛮相信有一见钟情的存在的。
Yes, Japanese DVD. This movie was a pretty big hit in Asia when it first came out. If that sounds complicated, that's because it is. The film's multi-region production is so inherent to its identity, I don't remember the last time the world felt this interconnected to me. How appropriate, because this is a film about connections. John and Eve live in the same apartment building, separated by just a wall. Yet, they never met. Eve always turns left when she leaves, John always turns right when he leaves. They have crossed paths numerous times before, but never met each other. Living their lonely lives, their best friends are the animals in the city. Until one fateful day, at a circular fountain, their paths converge, and it turns out to be the happiest day of their lives. The film explores the concept of 缘分, a concept similar to luck. Chinese people often believe it is 缘分 that brings people together. If 缘分hasn't arrived, you can be sleeping next to each other without realizing. But when 缘分 arrives, no matter how far apart, it will bring you together. But like fate, it has a sense of humor. Sometimes it can be downright cruel. After writing down each other's phone number, they part ways, not realizing this is the only scene they will share in this film. The rain has washed away the phone numbers. Not knowing each other's name, Eve and John desperately try to find each other. They call every number they can think of
喂，
殡仪馆你好。
不好意思打错。
to no avail. They revisit the part they met in, only to realize it is in the process of closing permanently. That encounter, it was as if it had never happened. 缘分, like luck, can be used up. Once it is up, no matter how hard you try, destiny does not yield. Worse yet, it brings them to people whom they don't want to meet.
开学的第二天，我捧着一大束花从门口跳出来跟你说 ，surprise， 那个你一学期的学长啊。
In my life, I have lost connections with many people, many of which I lost right around the time this movie came out. A small part of me ceaselessly chased after fame, be a filmmaker, be a YouTuber. It's because I want my name out there, to be famous enough to be found again. Watching John and Eve tirelessly trying to find each other again, yelling into the city waiting for a response, it is heartbreaking. But once again, I'll end my summary here and let you find out if they will ever reconnect. If, like me, you have friends and loved ones you regret losing, you have stories left unfinished, this is a comedic, poetic, lovely little film for you. Romance as a genre is often looked down upon, to a point where we even dismiss the concept of love. Many find it too girly, too feminine, which I think is such utter bullshit. Some of our oldest and greatest stories are about love, like the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, a myth so influential it became the template for nearly all modern romance movies. Heck, all four of China's greatest folktales are love stories. Clearly, love is part of our nature and culture. All three of today's films tackle the same subject matter, the loneliness of living in a city, living so close together but always failing to find each other. Seeing the happiness expressed by these characters and their relationships makes me realize how precious love truly is. How did we manage to be so alone living in a place teeming with people? And maybe that's also something we can learn from Hong Kong romance films. Maybe if we are more open to talking about love, we too can be a bit happier, a bit closer.